Like, what do I give him?
Yeah, what do you give him?
What do I give him?
Yeah,
Like, big man. So what do you need done in your
your wife?
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I've got just, what do I give him? What do I give him, man?
The man goes in your house, he's like,
because I've got
Mrs. Jones.
Do you see?
I need an hour with your wife.
I've got sales skills. I teach people how to make more money through their business and implement sales strategies and this, that, the other.
You're not taking this serious.
Really?
You ain't.
Yes.
No, you're not.
You can't be. Can't be.
Oblivious.
Might as well put it across a little bit as well.
Is it alright?
Yeah. It's just I'm more time thinking. Yeah, that's cool.
So you can be comfortable and just not have.
So you can chat over this side and not have to worry about
having to turn your head and all them.
Across, you know, one's there.
Having to sit up.
Not address the people then.
But we're alright though, yeah.
Yep.
All good.
Yeah, easy, man.
We're
Easy.
live.
Ain't been here for a little while. Been missing for a couple of weeks. You already know. Just been working in that, man. Working.
Same old. That's why I expect to hear from you.
Yeah, life as a business owner, bro. Life of a business owner.
I don't know about. I do know, but I don't know at the same time because mine's not moving like that quite yet. But it soon come.
Also, yours is like, like you said, soon come. It's a
slow burner.
Yeah.
This one is not really down to what I can do. Is I still need customers. You know what I mean? It's all down to what people want to walk through the door.
So that's advertisement then it comes down to.
I know.
Advertisement. So it's a matter of pushing.
It's also, you know, bro, the algorithm is crazy because you have to, obviously everybody knows that you have to put so much money in to get it back on the other side now. If you don't put money into Instagram, your post ain't going nowhere anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't put money into TikTok, your post ain't going nowhere.
TikTok's a bit different. TikTok's algorithm works a bit different to Instagram. TikTok works off of like they deliberately push it to people that who doesn't know of your stuff.
Okay.
Because they're trying to like, especially at first. So like your first like 50 to 100
I've noticed
videos.
that. My first 5 posts went crazy. They went crazy.
Because they're just pushing it to loads of random people and seeing what sticks. So it's kind of like just throwing what sticks, and it starts clocking what sticks. And it's like, all right, cool. So we'll start just pushing it to more of those kind of people. So it's like TikTok's a really good place to like, if you want to build up like an audience of people who don't know your stuff and start getting attention from that, then like you'll throw it on TikTok. Whereas Instagram pushes it to people that you do know, depending on how those people interact with it, depends on then if it will push it further. So like,
really?
So let's say you have 100 people, just for math's sakes, 100 people that follow you, it will then push it to 10% of those people. So that's 10 people. Depending on how those 10 people then interact with it, will then depend on if it pushes it to the other more people, and then it goes up in increments. Whereas like TikTok's just based on like, have you got a good hook? Are people watching the first like 5 to 10 seconds, and then are they then interacting with it in them after the first like 5 to 7 seconds?
Do you think I should post more on TikTok then?
Both.
I don't post on both, but like the brunt of the videos, would you think I should do duplicates just both sides then?
Yeah, it's both, because if you've already created the content and you've already got the piece, what's the difference between like, it's going to take you an extra 10 seconds, extra minute maybe?
You know what I really hate about Instagram?
Over there.
I swear you can't schedule posts on Instagram.
I don't use Instagram enough like that to know. Can you not?
No.
So now you can do that with Facebook.
Facebook, TikTok, all them, you can schedule posts. So I'm just like, I line them up. And then boom, I just disappear. I can go for the rest of my day, don't have to worry about it. Instagram, you kind of have to be around that, the phone or the laptop at this certain time of when you want to post it. It's jarring. Yeah. It's real jarring.
That sounds it.
But pull your mic down a bit. It's a bit too close to your face.
What, there?
That down in height.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So we can see your face, fam.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I think you're blocked off,
My bad.
But you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Melo, just been tired and working. I think tired is the default setting when you're working, so I think that's just what's expected, isn't it? So
I also think it's the time of year though.
That time of year,
yeah.
I work outside, innit? So just the weather's just sapping it out of me. Like, I'm never usually this tired at the end of a week, but Friday I was mash. I was thinking, what's going on? Like I actually genuinely couldn't wait till the weekend. Like, don't usually get like that, but
especially being melanated beings. Melanated beings, we're already deficient on vitamin D3.
I tell people all the time that I wasn't born in this. I'm not meant to be in this hemisphere.
Nah, not at all.
Damn well.
Not at all. This ain't for us. This ain't for us.
Ain't for us.
But how was your birthday?
Birthday was okay. I ended up. I literally was. I wasn't gonna do anything for it because normally I don't. I just say, oh, I'm just glad everyone's healthy and But this year I thought, I'm actually just gonna go and see if I could just take a little short break. Ended up going to see my girl in the Canaries, and then from then we were just enjoying the day out there and where we were staying, and I think just trying to be as much in the sea as I could be and still see the island as much as I could.
Nice.
Because I thought I'd seen it, but as you said before, we ain't seen shit yet. Excuse my language, but we had not seen anything. We drove in a little bit just around what we were, and it looked like a different place.
Yeah, of course. To be fair, I haven't been to the other side of Lanzarote.
Yeah, neither. Literally, he said we still got the other side to look at. We just looked at on the side where we were staying and what's around. You know, that Yeza, the village.
We are talking about Lanzarote, so I did just randomly say it, but yeah, Canary Islands, Lanzarote.
Yeah, Lanzarote. Yeah, so we're in Yeza, however you pronounce it, and we've seen this well-organized village and everything. Again, you can imagine looking all clean and
because everything's a certain height out there. You're not allowed to build over a certain height in Lanzarote.
Straight out.
Yeah, I think it's like a 1.5 story maybe, but I can't. What's his name?
Cesar Manrique. He said you're not allowed to build above 2. I think you're not allowed to build above 2 stories.
Why?
You can't break the wind.
You must keep it within this, because he likes the whole place like a community. Everywhere looks like it's one place. You know what I mean? See, here in England, they kind of have
there's a cultural
there we go.
Right. Okay.
It's like that.
Also,
there's a cultural consistency across the
and it
island.
doesn't take away the beauty from the island, that you don't have random things sticking up like as eyesores and stuff, so you can see across the whole landscape of the island.
That makes sense. So then everyone's got a nice view. They've got
and you got to think also it helps with the creation of the beach as well, because they have really bad you know, when the sand's in the atmosphere. That's how he said he didn't want the wind to be broken, because it helps with the sand being blown over to create the beach, because then they're very close to what would be the Sahara as well.
Okay.
So there's a whole museum out there that explains
the whole
him
museum
and what he did for the island and everything. He's a bit mad. That's why I said this mad guy.
Mad.
Why did you say? Why did you say that?
He likes sex parties.
Oh, okay.
He had some room.
Oh my! That's not where my head went to when I heard mad. When I heard mad, I'm thinking, oh, he sounds a bit autistic kind of mad.
They're all the same. It was even back then. He was coming up during the 60s, dude. So you can imagine he was very free, doing mad shit.
I mean, that don't mean that you're gonna be one of them, man. But I hear it still. He's one of
just to say that
everything
was running in the 70s.
It's a good segue,
man.
So it's like Jay-Z and Diddy. You know what I mean? They're all the same thing.
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue. Do you believe?
What, do I believe what?
You know what I'm saying?
What, with Jay-Z?
Yeah,
but we already don't know that's been the case. What do you mean? What do you mean his rise to fame was the case? What are we talking about?
What case?
The guy's been dealing with underage gal from when he came into fame.
Oh dear.
So
elaborate.
Long day.
I don't necessarily know all the ins and outs, but I do know some stuff.
Allegedly.
Nah, not allegedly. He was doing it publicly. It's not allegedly. He's doing it publicly. We've seen the pictures. We've seen it all. The guy was hollering at. So you talk. How old was Aaliyah?
But Aaliyah was R. Kelly, innit? 14.
And 14. As well as Jay-Z. Don't forget Jay-Z as well. That whole group of that whole generation of girls was being groomed by the older men, which was including the Jay-Z's and the R. Kellys and all the rest of it.
So that's a tape of childhood, man.
We've seen if you look at the pictures from that era, you get horrified. You're like, whoa, and then you do the math or how old these girls were. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I can't remember the specific names of who and when, but it's all there. It's all there. Like, one Google search and you can see it all.
You can find everything. Yeah.
Everything. It's not difficult. And then all you got to do is literally just look at the pictures.
The whole thing for me is really like, I didn't have the patience for it, only because it felt like it was just another thing recycled to distract me, because how we're gonna act like everyone forgot that R. Kelly was doing what he was doing, and that everyone forgot that Diddy's always been a bit different. Do you know what I mean? Like, these things have kind of been known and they've been talked about vigorously.
We've always known, but because they've been so powerful and like heads of their position, they can't really be touched. But now it's a free for all. But the Jay-Z thing, you see how they're trying to say that she's backtracking already. Like, her story isn't straight and her father doesn't believe her and say that I didn't pick her up after this situation.
He's got exceptional like fixer, whoever does his media stuff.
Yeah, bro. It's like whoever's on Jay-Z, the one in the background to sort these things out, moving quickly, bro.
Yeah.
He's moving quickly.
Money talks, isn't it?
I so
money talks,
brother. Obviously, we're still living in that. We'll always be in that kind of world of that. Money can get you any and everything. But we're coming out of it ever so slowly because of social media. Like, as I was saying to my mum the other day, the reason why, like, think they're getting caught up because it doesn't matter how much you try to hide something. As soon as you put something on the internet, even in storage, in your cloud, it's done. It's out there. Like someone can hack into it at any moment. So surely these videos are in someone's possession that could just go out there and just boom and blow it all up soon. It's coming. It's coming. Because there's so many there's so many new allegations I'm saying that are coming out daily with this Diddy thing saying, oh, he this, that, the other. And they were all, he's video recorded half of it. I can't imagine these are all just in like VHS tapes in his yard or DVDs. They're on some hard drive, some cloud somewhere. So they're gonna come out, and it's only a matter of time that we see that stuff. Yeah, well, it's being protected right now, though, isn't it? Oh yeah, because of the courts. And
they've also got to sift through. They got to sift through half the. You know, with cases like this, you're always gonna get half the people who come up. There's a portion of them that may just be doing the Me Too thing or just, you know, trying to jump on the bandwagon. So they're in there too. They're in there too. So they got to sift through all that and then wait for everything.
It's the men as well, man. Like,
the men.
Tapped. This world.
To be fair, it's tapped. For the men, you got to understand that like they had to place themselves in certain positions and do certain things for money. They didn't have to.
You didn't have to.
Do you see what I mean?
What they about have to.
They didn't have to though.
Like money and living in fame and trying to be rich isn't the be all and end all, unfortunately. But people don't see it that way. It's so mad. It's so backwards to me to feel like you want to be there so bad that you want to sell everything and do all the madness just to get there. Like, come on, bro.
But this is why we
still have to sleep at night.
This is why we say this idolatry and this idolizing of certain figures in I guess like you said, powerful positions is dangerous because look at what it can make. Look what it made these artists do. Some of these people who have allegedly in these lawsuits are people that some of us have listened to.
We grew up listening to. Like, before we even get into like the news, even down to R. Kelly, I don't feel the same singing I Believe I Can Fly. I used to, that's in my tune.
I hear it. That growing up. Yeah. What do you mean? Especially because of Space Jam as well. Yeah, bro. Space Jam with Michael Jordan coming through. Of course. Like, it had significance.
My mum recorded me singing that tune because I was singing at the top of my lungs. That's my tune. But now I just can't feel the same. I'm looking at this man thinking, bro, you really just manipulated us.
Happy People still bang.
What do you mean? But he was
doing... he threw out Happy People was like in the middle of... I swear he was in a mad crisis with the Aaliyah situation, or it was the Golden Showers situation.
Something, yeah. That's where that song came about. That's why he dropped that track.
He dropped that tune just like
to
that.
To then get the attention off of everybody, or get the attention off of that, and get everybody happy people singing and dancing at the barbecues again.
Exactly.
That was yeah. Marketing tactics on a mad thing. Hey, it's crazy work. But yeah, it's mad. The fact that the problem is that we've glorified a certain lifestyle and way of being, and this is the repercussions.
They're so like staunch in it. A lot of people just are like, I don't care, it's R. Kelly, I still love the music. You've got to get rid of the whole thing. I'm sorry, everything's got to go. As much as you love the tunes and everything, and it kind of still keeps it in your mind that he was a good person, in my opinion.
But then we can't. So we're just gonna throw away Remix to Ignition.
I'm sorry, it's all gone.
Fresh out.
It's all gone.
For me, I agree and I disagree. And you know what? I agree because I'm like, if we're gonna stand on business, then we have to stand on business for the whole industry. Then, so that means the whole industry
all the
has to go.
Everything
within the industry have to go.
It's like Cat Williams said, isn't it? It's up for all these deviants.
We've got to start listening to the underground people that are actually really
the solo artists, artists that's been doing their own thing and been building themselves up from the ground, from the dirt. Yeah. Not these industry plants who've been put there and glorified.
You think the same shit's going on over here too?
What do you mean? Of course.
No, but I'm saying even for the rappers that we are really close to. I know I'm talking about the Gets. I'm talking about
Giggs went to Diddy's party, so Giggs has been been to Diddy's party. We don't know what happened.
I don't know. That bit I don't know because it's a different culture.
Or is that your soul?
Nah.
Saying you don't want it to
Nah, because I couldn't care less. Okay. If these men are doing that, then long day, you man on some craziest thing. You're not rapping me in England. It's just black man in England, you're not rapping me. But so I can't really comment on that, but because I don't know. There's no evidence that it like really shows that. There's no allegations that show that. But when it's like the whole R. Kelly's and the rest, we've been knowing. It's no surprise. So with the Jay-Z, it don't surprise me. It's like we've been knowing. Okay. It's been in our faces. And if that's the case, then we have to like...
Be skeptical then, that's it.
Yeah, so like I'm on the fence, innit? I'm not left or right. But when it comes to the rest of what we have seen, I'm like, if we're going to cancel the industry, like we'll cancel these individuals, that means all the records labels have to go. Def Jam, all the labels that we've seen have to go. Every label that's out there. Because it's crooked. All built on all kinds of crooked, crassus nonsense. All sorts of... and that's the thing, like, I remember when I wanted to go become an actor and all the rest of it growing up. Like a joke that consistently used to get ran on me. And when people found out, oh, you're going, oh, so you're going to be one of them man that like come into fame because you throw it back or like you did or da. Like that was a common joke that would be made.
How can that be a common joke though? Do you see what I mean? Like also you want it's basically what you're saying. Oh, so you're gonna be that guy who like gets for fame. Like,
for fame, yeah.
But that's basically what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Graped.
Do you get
fame.
it?
Yeah, you got to get used to saying things.
Yeah, graped.
Yeah, so it's gonna be dude.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get used to that.
you're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to.
The algorithms are crazy, bro. Like as much like YouTube algorithm is just the worst out of all of them. They just catch you like that and just monetize
Whatever
that.
AI that is, that's Jarvis, man.
Or do what you have to do is step out of
the
also put it on other platforms because there are platforms that allow the users to talk.
Oh, you know, Spotify, it's cool. You can just chill out that on Spotify and do your thing. I've got it on Spotify too. We're on Spotify.
I mean, even
quite
visuals
annoying.
though, because like you see, like the Tate Brothers, for instance.
Yeah.
They got banned on YouTube. They're now on that other platform that I can't remember what it's called.
Patreon?
No,
Patreon's good.
I can't remember what them.
Is it Kick?
I don't know what them.
It's another one. It's Kick. I'm pretty sure.
Darky would know. He knows what it's called because he was using it to listen to some of their stuff and whatnot, which is how I knew about it. I was like, oh, right, they're still going. I was like, I thought they're banned on YouTube and that. And he was like, oh, no, they've moved over to this where you can talk freely. And I was like, oh, that
They've
makes
got
more
a new
sense.
one that's battling Twitter as well. Blue Sky.
Is it?
It's like the new Twitter kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm seeing about that.
Yeah, that's going to be the new kind of
new Twitter.
freedom of speech.
Actual because Twitter right now is literally
Elon is doing this too much.
Nah,
Elon's doing
I'm
too
just gonna
much,
be
bro.
honest.
And the way he positioned it is crazy.
Yeah.
But go on.
Twitter has literally become like, how can I put it? Because everyone can buy their way into premium, they don't actually have to sell you anything or do anything in life anymore. If everyone can get their blue tick on Twitter, that's everyone's trash on your feed, even if you don't follow them.
Yeah.
So it's now a saturated blah blah
never used
platform. It's literally the saturated blah blah platform, and everyone there is competing for each other for the attention of whoever else is within their following, within that spectrum of thinking that they have in their following.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff I see there is just for me is regurgitated blah blah.
What was you saying?
I've never used it. I've never been a Twitter person like that.
Yeah, I hear that. Me neither.
It's always in spurts. It's never like it's my actual go-to social media. First it was Facebook. Then we moved over to Snap, kind of. Then it was Instagram for me, and I kind of stayed there.
Now you never took to Twitter.
Never took to. I have it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I use it for streams. Like literally I was on it just about 10 minutes ago to look at the Man United, get to see the Man United goals and see the Spurs goals at the moment because that's what I use it for. That's about it. All them other things that people say you can go on Twitter, I just kind of see it through reposts on Instagram and stuff like that. That's as most as I go.
I just like the way, I thought it was funny the way Elon kind of put his point, positioned it. Like he bought Twitter for the sake of freedom of speech, but now they're blocking everything that is against what they're saying.
Exactly.
So it's the exact same thing that the last group was doing,
but it's always
just on the other wing.
It's just it's just
gone from one wing to another wing.
Yeah.
We're not going to censor you. We're just going to censor you better.
But the thing is,
in a different way.
they're
Yeah, you get it.
They're all the same because
So-
like even down to what like Elon Trump, they're all pally now and they're trying to get rid of, what was it? I can't remember what side they are. Are they right? Are they the right? And they're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
You know how it works, but
Left and right wing is the same bird.
the same bird. It's the same bird. Do you know what I mean? Like Hillary was saying the same rubbish when she was trying to go for power, saying we're going to get everybody out. Then Trump said we're going to get everybody out. You got upset with him. Now, then Obama had like the highest level of immigration out of all of them, and now Trump's back in saying the same thing. So all of them are saying the same rubbish, and you're blocking each other from saying they're only the same things that you're either saying.
Yeah.
So you're blocking no one from saying anything.
So it's like, what?
So you're blocking each other from saying nothing.
Yeah,
That's just crazy. Just let people talk. Just let people talk. But
that's
they don't
what
want
Elon's
people to
saying.
talk.
It's a freedom of speech now, isn't
But
it?
it's cap because he's now blocking people as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's cap.
space from when Spaces, he introduced Spaces, right? Which was basically like, see how we're talking now? It was, I would open up something on Twitter called a space and I would give a mic to Jamal and me and Jamal are talking. And if you join the space, you can then put your hand up, request a mic, I give you the mic.
Yeah.
But then those spaces are now listened to. And sometimes people record spaces and sometimes, profiles that may not follow you just end up in the space and then they leave, but you don't know if they've recorded that space. So really what he created was, like Jamal said, it was just he censored everything a different way.
Yeah.
It's
just censored the opposite side.
And now people feel weird having discussions on spaces because they feel like, well, even if they were to do anything of significance, it's listened to, it's recorded.
And then it's monetized and changed and the rest of it. It's problematic. But then that begs a question. Do you think it's the same? Obviously, we're talking about the politicians or the rest of it over there in America. Do you think that's the same here in the UK?
Yeah.
100%.
It's the same thing. Like I asked you earlier before the pod.
Did they not?
That do you watch?
Yeah, go on.
I asked Jamal, does he really pay attention with English politics and stuff, and he says no. But I just passing through. Like I'm always listening to LBC while I'm at work, so like it's just radio, just pass on, hearing the nonsense of what the country thinks and individuals, how they're like, oh, we've been waiting for all this time for Labour to come into power, and all of a sudden Labour are doing the same thing Conservatives are doing, tear. I'm just like, bro, if Conservatives ran the country for 14 years, they've ran the country purely for themselves and only for themselves, and they usually get the poor people to pay the rich people's issues, yeah. And that's how things just go. And Conservatives love it that way. They know Labour have to come in for like a 6 or 7 year period, try and fix up what Conservative have kind of done, put it in a way that the country kind of looks like that Labour's doing it for the best betterment of people. And then Conservative come in and reap the benefits of that and then do their thing and like try privatize more stuff and blah, 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 how things go on. Elon is trying to get, it looks like he's trying to stop that kind of cycle from happening over here. He doesn't want Labour or Conservatives to be in power because he, in his mind, obviously he's the most intelligent person going. He feels like a new party needs to be in there. It looks like, so like Reform. So I said to you before is that we had a party called UKIP. UKIP basically looked like they wanted to just turn England back to being English and a lot white, and they didn't want many immigrants being in here. That's how they wanted it. So they just kind of, they're gone reformed here now. The same man that was in front of that party, Nigel Farage, is in there. And the rumour is that Elon has been given backings to reform and Nigel Farage to get him as one of the front runners to be the new face of England, the Prime Minister in the next elections and stuff like that. So Elon is getting his hand in our politics the same way, like I said, he had his hand in America's politics and pushing and using money as basically to twist people's arms to get where he wants to be. Because he has surplus amounts of it.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
And like you just said, yeah, England and America, we ain't too far off. Because if they got him doing that on either side of it, he's just controlling it. You know what I mean? He's doing what he wants.
But then that's I guess this goes back to the idea that, you know, the politicians really are serving where the money goes, not necessarily us. It is all about money.
It's always been that. It's always been that. Like, as I said, I love watching the nonsense in the politics because everyone got upset. COVID, that was a money-making scheme for the people at the top. Brexit, same thing. Like, they probably had loads of companies that were going to profit off the fact of England pulling out of Europe. They made money out of it. They had companies that were making PPE. They made money out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's always about where the money train is. And
because money runs the world.
I mean,
I feel like, for me, not to be controversial, but I feel like a lot of the things that we think we would like to believe create change, if those things could actually create change, they'd be illegal.
Oh yeah, you're damn right. They would be.
That's a good point, isn't it?
If voting could actually create change, it would be illegal. Yeah, voting gives you the comfort of believing you have something to choose.
Oh yeah. It's divide and conquer tactic.
Yeah. When really the whole chessboard is the well above your pay grade, and you'll never serve your intention.
That's what you basically said by I don't pay attention to politics because I can't make a difference on it. It doesn't really actually.
What am I paying attention to what these nonsense people are doing and decisions they're making? They're going to make the decision regardless. If these people, like, for me, it's two faces in it. It's two masks. So this mask is allowed to do certain things, and this mask is allowed to do certain things. So then they deliberately put a mask in power, so then they can get away with doing certain things, whatever them certain things are. So if it's Labour, it's putting certain things into place so it looks like they're for the people. And then for the Tories or the Conservatives, it's putting certain things in place, which they was always going to do anyway. So which is obviously to benefit the rich and then create a further division and gap between the classes. Because we've already been told they're getting rid of the class system in the UK. The class system is going away. There is no longer going to be a lower, middle, and higher.
How do you get rid of that?
You get rid of the middle.
You get rid of the middle.
So that's why we're seeing the cost of living going up as high as it is. So then it's rich and poor. So it's going to be moving more like the South African system.
Kind of class system, but it's only 2-class system rather than three.
Rather than a 3-class system. Yeah. But it's just going to be a thing of it. But it won't be a class system then. It's going to be a rich and poor. Either you have or you do not have.
Okay.
You're going to be one of two. You're going to be really, really feeling it. And that's why we're seeing like the cost of living going up the way it is over here in the UK. Because there's no reason for things to cost as much as it does. There's no reason.
Let me segue quickly.
Go on.
The family went Costco's yesterday, and we go Costco's a lot. That's our
Christmas especially this time of year.
Yeah, you know, Costco knows. Christmas time, my family go Costco's. We're buying things in it. So I think I think my mum said, right, so it was an extra virgin olive oil from Berio. It was a 5 litre. Now it's £10 a litre of extra virgin olive oil. £10 a litre. It's crazy. I think my nan got a receipt out from like this time 3 years ago because she hoards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was something like £4.50.
It's crazy, isn't it?
£10 now. That's 100%. That's more than 100%.
More than 100%.
That's mad. That's just that. Other stuff that we usually picked up, like chocolate gatto out there in Costco, used to 3-4 years ago before Brexit, was £6. Now it's £12.
Oh my gosh.
A half a salmon that we used to get out there per kilo. I think per kilo now it's something like £9.60 per kilo. It's getting silly, man.
Yeah, inflation's been created to help.
It's getting silly.
It is to help create, in my personal opinion, help create a division.
Oh yeah, but inflation has been with us since like kind of since money began, and it's like ever so trickling. It was very slow. It was there, but it was very slow. Like from the 90s to the 60s and the 70s, it was there. But as soon as it hit 80s, 90s, and since the 2000s, it's just kind of taken off. It's got real ridiculous now.
It's just that it's weird because for me, it's like, how can I put it? Like,
Because like house prices.
we literally, for me, inflation is like the market performs well, and then they put the costs up on certain things, which then forces suppliers to then put the price level up because the market's doing well. So the price level's going up because the market's doing well. So the price level's and then what we're having is excessive cost to the point whereby it's now, like you said, no longer rational. It doesn't actually make sense. I don't think it makes sense.
We control the prices though.
Pardon?
That's what I've never been able to get my head around. We're humans. We create everything on this planet.
This is what I'm getting to.
Create it for ourselves. We create the prices. We create the wage system. It's common sense that we have the ability to bring things down the way that they've just been going up. We created money, this fiscal thing that we pass around to say that that's what this worth and this is what that's worth. But if we just said, really, that doesn't have a worth anymore because we created it in the first place, inflation should, in theory, come down. But it's a choice for the people who are ever at the top to keep saying, nah, it's more beneficial to us to keep making more money by putting prices up.
Yeah.
Literally. And to be fair, I feel like the reason they even call it an economy is because I think if you look at the meaning of the word economy, it's literally the study of lack. You can't have an economy unless someone's lacking in something. Somewhere, yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
It's true, yeah. You need someone to have to be worse off, innit?
That makes sense.
If everybody was just normal, like say like the perfect world is see how kind of Qatar is, I would say. It's not perfect, but everybody in that country is not really wanting for much. They don't have
not for the necessity, certainly not.
You don't have to want for much in that country because everything is there for you. Everybody in that country could be millionaires. There's no reason for people not to be, yeah? But that kind of could be the case for majority of countries around the world. If we kind of did like a living wage and a flat rate living wage, there wasn't work. You know what I mean? Everybody just got paid a certain amount of money. This is how much you're going to get given a month.
But then the value of money would disappear, and there'd be no reason to have money. Then
that's what I'm trying to say.
Go back down to trading.
I was about to say that barter system.
Yeah.
It would be a level of, oh, I can do this for you, you can do this for me, and then that's how we live.
But then that makes more sense because now we're living in a world whereby we
fucked up so bad can't even get there. There's not.
Yeah, I don't think we can get there. I
don't think so. But I think what we can get to is a point where, because they effectively we were in the Agorian age. You owned your land. You went to school once a week. It was Sunday school, and you worked for the rest of your days. They then replaced that with, okay, you will own nothing and be happy, and you will work the majority of the week.
Yeah.
Right. So to get back to that Agorian age, it would literally take. I think you'd have to have everyone now flip the thing on its head again and start chasing value because value creates money, which we know now. But we're still stuck chasing money because of the way things are set up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. We should be chasing the joys of life. I think you're trying to say.
Yeah. So if you chase the things of value, so like your necessities is immediately the first thing you're gonna change. But then also, what do you have that you can make money from? And then upskilling that because the value is in your skills. And the skills make the money.
So I agree. The reason I had the face I had, because that's probably what you're going off of it. Is I fully agree with what you're saying. I just think within that, I think like we can't go back to a trading thing. Like we couldn't go back for trading because it wouldn't make sense, because then like, how do I then go, all right, I need an electrician or a plumber or a, do you know what I'm saying? Come pattern XYZ in my yard. Like, what do I give him?
Yeah, what do you give him?
What do I give him?
Yeah,
Like, all right, big man. So what do you need done in your
wife?
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I've got just, what do I give him? What do I give him, man?
Man goes in your house, it's like
because I've got
Mrs. Jones.
Do you see?
I need an hour with your wife.
I've got sales skills. I teach people how to make more money through their business and implement sales strategies and this, that, the other. Like, how do I now help man?
It could get techie.
It doesn't really work. There's no, so that money is necessary because then it's like an exchange of value. So it's like, all right, cool. This is then I'm gonna give you this money. You're then gonna be able to pay for X, Y, and Z that the next man has, and all the rest.
It's gonna be rather like, my brethren's a fisherman. I can pay for you. I can give you 3 days worth of meals if you help me for the electrician.
Do you know what I mean?
That's how things were back in the day. Yeah, you were kind of close knit community.
It made sense, but
you could do that.
Now we don't have that luxury and that ability to do that. So it's like, all right, cool. So the system works. It works in the sense of like how the infrastructure. It doesn't work with how much it costs for these things and what we've got to do to then get that access to that money. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I shouldn't be spending an hour of my day and then getting paid £15 an hour or £12 an hour or £8 an hour. Like,
it's
no
silly.
sense.
It's silly.
Like, I'm just simple things like that, and then I then shouldn't have to then pay how much I then have to pay to then have access to food, water, and these things. They're like, they are human necessities. And that is my God-given right as being born a human on planet Earth.
Can I add another thing as well? I think it is the dumbest thing that we still have cash points in this country that will charge you to withdraw your own hard-earned cash.
That's mad cheeky, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're as an English person, you privileged to feel that way, but that's not the case in most other countries.
Every country charge 18.
Every country. We're one of the only countries that don't really do it. So now you're feeling privileged the fact that you live here and don't have to do that. But if you was to go most other places, that's normality for them over there, and it's crazy.
That's insane.
Cheeky.
Yeah. America, that's an absolute no. It's a thing in America to create businesses that allow you to have cards that you don't have to withdraw and pay fees to withdraw.
Do you know why I can accept that for other countries though? Because they don't have as high of a tax system as we have over here.
Oh, yeah,
like, I work, I get taxed.
The tax
pay.
But is that the same case for America? No, it's not. You pay more tax really over there stupidly, and then you still have to pay for everything.
And then you're lumping everything in that 401k account or whatever.
Yeah. You have to actually physically go and pay your taxes yourself. That's crazy to me. Like, they don't take it from source. I've got to keep a note of all the taxes throughout my year, and then end of the tax year, the man can come after me. I got to file it myself. Why are you not taking it from source when you pay me?
They're gonna whip you, tax you, and make you give.
I agree with the fact that you take tax from source, but I just don't agree the amount of tax that we pay.
But then it's not just because the food and water we buy taxed.
Yeah.
So then why was I taxed when I got paid?
Because theoretically, the food and water tax is meant to actually go to the people that have done it for us. You know what I mean? Like the farmers.
That's what I just paid for.
And this is
what my money just paid for.
No, the money that I just paid for is technically for the NHS. It's for the roads.
No. That's what I mean. No. So I buy a bottle of water.
Yeah.
I'm taxed on that bottle of water.
You shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying.
It's water.
Why am I being taxed on the bottle of water?
I'm trying to say because that's a necessity. However, if it's cakes and stuff like that, I understand why because you don't really need to be eating.
Why am I being taxed?
Because you don't need to eat it.
But why am I being taxed?
Because you don't need to eat it, they're saying.
No,
it's not a necessity.
We're poor, so we don't deserve to eat it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that's what
that
they're
was
saying.
perceived. Like,
you don't need to eat that. You shouldn't be eating that. So that's why I'm going to tax you on money for something that you don't necessarily.
But then my money pays for it. So why am I being taxed?
No, your money doesn't pay for it. Your money pays for the NHS and pays for the roads to be.
No.
This is how they say it.
I think you guys understand what I'm saying. So
no, I know.
I make. No. Hold on. Let me land. I need to make sure because I get paid.
Yes.
My P's got taxed.
Yes.
I paid national insurance.
Yes.
Book. But I paid it. Nonetheless, wherever. They just take my money. Cool. Now, I got my money. Let's say I got paid £2,000.
Yeah.
I go to the shop. I go get some groceries. I got tax on every single one of those groceries.
Not everything. Not everything.
But everything containing sugar, 100%.
Yes.
Most of the things that I...
Non-necessity stuff, you don't get taxed on. There's no VAT on it.
So most of the things I get taxed on, none of us.
Yeah.
Wait, are you sure we don't get taxed on water in the shop?
No. Non-necessity stuff is not taxed. And I know baby clothes is in that as well. Baby clothes and baby food is in non-VAT stuff as well.
Okay.
So if I eat an apple, is that taxed?
No. It shouldn't be. It's fruit. I'm pretty sure you're not taxed on fruit.
Oh no,
Sure.
but they will mark up the price to account for the fact that it travelled to you.
But if it was diced pineapples in juice in a plastic packet, there's VAT on that.
Yeah,
Because you didn't need to go that far to be cutting it up to be looking that presentable and put it in packaging. But if you just buy a pineapple for itself or an
basically,
apple or pear,
the law is set up in such a way that the law tells you poor and just don't deserve. You have to consume within the confines.
But that
of
VAT
these
that you're buying is
allowances.
technically, in my opinion, in my head, when I was younger until I got older, I thought that VAT that I was paying on that would go back to Mr. Kipling. So like I ate at Mr. Kipling. The VAT on that would go back to him because
Then he can make you more Mr. Kipling.
you know what I mean. That's how I used to think
That's
of
how you
it.
thought of it.
But then, as I grew up and I understand how the world works, that's not the case. You know what I mean?
Multiple income streams, so much so that we've now got everyday people looking into trusts and things just to avoid in things like inheritance.
Yeah,
tax.
yeah. That's what I loved watching. I love watching politics. Jeremy Clarkson was out there with the farmers because they're man paying inheritance tax now. They're making them pay inheritance tax for anything you have. If you own land more than 3 million, I think it is, worth in value, you have to now pay 20% inheritance tax on that land. We pay 40%.
That's theft. That's theft already because look how much they make just taxing the way they tax now.
Well,
and you're
inheritance
gonna go
tax in general is theft.
Of course it is.
shouldn't really be a thing. However, the farmers never had to pay it. We've always had to pay it. If we own anything and we want to actually give it to someone in our family inheritance, we have to pay inheritance tax. Farmers didn't have to. Now they've brought it in, the fact that they have to. I'm not going to go into depth of all that because I kind of knew it when I
Saw it coming.
I saw it. Yeah, but anyway, Jeremy Clarkson was out there with the farmers in London pushing, saying that it's wrong because the farmers feed the country and all this, which they shouldn't be paying this amount of tax and blah, blah, blah. They pay 20%. We pay 40%. You've already been discounted. And then you've been discounted on the fact that if you don't actually have this level of worth of land, you don't pay inheritance tax still. So unless you have the threshold, you still don't pay. Yeah. He has got a trust, so he doesn't have to worry about these things. He just puts all his money in trust. Yeah. And they're questioning this man out on the roads. He's like, but Jeremy, you don't have to deal with this. You've got trust. And he goes, yes, that's not the point. And I'm like,
but I hear it. It's not the point. I'm not arguing about my situation. I'm arguing for the people's situation, who's backing our situation, who hasn't got the education.
You improve the country.
Yeah,
who hasn't argue for each other sometimes.
Yeah, because these ain't got the education. These haven't got the information and haven't got the availability to get. So why are these not being
give them
punished?
the information instead of waiting for this situation to come now? Why weren't you pushing the information? If you love these farmers so much, I'm the same, Jeremy. If you love these farmers so much and you back
you mean
them,
you've been knowing? So why didn't you say something sooner?
You've been had a trust. So why haven't you been pushing the fact that all these breaded up men that they're not poor, they're farmers, they're not poor. They can start this trust years ago. They should have. Why now you're upset and crying and stuff and you didn't tell them to do all this before, Jeremy? That's what you should be doing. Not waiting for the crisis to come.
And then now you come and save your
My question then is though, I got a question. Are they allowed to do that? So are certain people within power allowed to do that? Because when you start whistleblowing.
But he's not power, he's just a celebrity. Jeremy Clarkson, Top Gear.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's just a celebrity. He doesn't matter. He can say whatever he wants to say.
And again, that's why. But he's got an influence, so he's an influencer to some degree, and there's a level of awareness and eyes on him. So I'm like, there's certain things where people aren't allowed to talk about certain things.
And I'm gonna say my part before you carry on with that. I just think he doesn't want them to know that. And now that the woman questioned him on the TV that you had a trust, it now put it
in the spotlight.
It's put it in the spotlight now. It's like, oh.
That was the sort of like the spanner in the works.
It wasn't. I didn't think he necessarily wanted the farmers to, or not the farmers, but people in general to know that kind of information. That's the need to know basis for people that know this. They deal with trusts. If you don't know, that's not your business. That's how I see that Jeremy was moving with it until she brought it up and told her while he was on the mic on the news.
And that's what I mean. Like, if he's going to start telling them the industry secrets or like those
I don't
secrets,
think he wanted to.
But why?
Because why would I want to tell these lot industry secrets when I'm richer than all these farmers and I want to keep it within this club?
So you think it's very selfish. I don't know if it's a thing of where they're not allowed to because of whistleblower. If you whistleblow this information out there, then you've now put a target on your back because you've then put yourself like you've then.
It's not illegal.
You've taken a lot, but you've taken a lot of money out of a group of people's pockets.
If you're taking it, it's just us. It's just us as people. You're not paying tax.
Huh?
You're not paying tax. That's what you just know. He's
not come out of our pocket. Them not paying tax doesn't come out of our pocket. We don't see that money what goes into the tax.
But we just have to pay the tax that you're not paying. I'm saying.
Yeah.
The same tax that you're not paying because you've got trusts and you basically borrow money, you don't pay tax on borrowed money. You just have your money sitting there in equity and you go to the bank and say, I want X amount of money, and you just live off that money rather than the money that's in equity. You're not paying tax on that. Yeah. That means we just have to pay the tax that you're not paying.
So that's what I'm saying. So, but someone has to pay that tax for one. But I'm saying, like, let's say, for instance, maybe this will explain it a bit better. Let's say, for instance, they do whistleblow that information of how to set up trusts and all the rest of it. And then everybody in the UK sets up trust now.
But you can't, because you're not rich enough to set up trusts. That's why I said it's fine for Jeremy to tell the farmers, because they're breaded up. They can do such things.
Okay, so let's say all of those individuals start paying tax now. I mean, set up their trust. Every single one of them.
They don't pay tax anyway.
What do you mean?
Farmers live off borrowed money. You don't pay tax on borrowed money. They have equity in their land. So they go to the bank and say, this is how much my land is worth. Can you give me a loan worth to I can literally balance this off my equity? You don't pay tax on borrowed money.
That's not so.
So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if they set up a trust or not. They still don't pay tax. So this trust just allows you to pass down money to your next kin without having to pay inheritance tax now on top of it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you never paid it in the
So
first
they are
place.
going to be paying tax.
Who?
So these farmers are going to be paying.
Now.
No.
But they never paid tax.
Those are the
And I
who
don't
amassed a
agree
certain
with
amount of
them
wealth.
never paying tax. Now that you now have to pay 20, which is only half that what I have to pay, I'm not upset with it. Why are you upset?
Because I think that 20%, when you know the value of land and the nature of the business that the government knows they're dealing with, it seems malicious for them. Because like you don't need to tax us
That's
us that
exactly
much.
what they're going with.
When you know that you make this much off income tax alone, or off capital gains tax alone, off
I know exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I understand why they're saying that. You say you get enough money off us. You don't necessarily give us the worth of what our farm makes. So all of our produce is not priced correctly. We're probably getting pence back for what we're selling it to the actual supermarkets, and then you're trying to slap us with this too now. The little things that we had to be able to keep our families going and our farms going, you're trying to take away from us. I see all that side of it. However, you are just because you are a farmer doesn't mean that you're better off than the average person who has a normal business. To say if one of my friends had a corner shop and he wanted to pass that down to his family, he still has to pay if he earns over a certain threshold, he has to pay 40% on that rather than the 20% that you pay. That's all I'm trying to say. Why do you feel like you have to pay nothing? You're still a person in England, like earning money on a job. You still have to pay the tax that I have to pay. If you don't have to pay it, why does it make that I have to now have to pay it?
The thing is, we've accepted so many different forms of tax now.
Exactly. It's either no one should be or everybody is. I'm trying to say.
But we've accepted so many different forms of tax now that I think tax.
That's how I am. That's my opinion. You can say no.
How are we gonna stop them from passing another law that taxes us a different? They're gonna keep passing laws and making it harder to live, bro. Because we accepted the capital gains tax, which was insane in the first place, that anyone ever accepted that in the first place. That if you trade, me, uncle, or whoever, big brother can now come and take a little portion of whatever trade you made, but you stayed up all night for that trade. Yeah, he was none the wiser. You see what I mean? The inheritance tax, it was doolally, it was insane anyway in itself.
Why is that even a thing? Like, I understand. Why is that even a thing? Inheritance.
And then you're taxing, so you're gonna tax people to drive.
Worked on, everything that I've
Tax
worked
on the
throughout my
vehicle.
life, you can just say, oh, I'm the government of which the country you live upon, so I can just come and take it. Yes,
anything.
I understand it's wrong, but I'm saying we have to pay it regardless over here. So that doesn't make you lot any difference because you have a farm and you feed the country, as they say.
So would you think
A lot of our produce still comes from overseas?
it would be nice if the country took a united or a more united stance on some of these issues, so that real change could real change could actually
the French,
yeah,
take
like the French,
the French come and just spread manure on the streets, them, and just mess up the thing.
Do you know what I mean? They know how to protest.
They do know.
The one thing the French know how to do is freaking give you hell. They'll know how to protest.
Yeah, I hear why, but I'm still caught up on this whole tax thing. What you were saying before with the whole, like, it's either should be none or all. But all the people who are of power, all the people who have money don't pay tax.
Exactly.
So
But
then
I'm trying to say, then that's Jeremy Clarkson. That
Tax is
what
a
you
poor
just
man's
said is
game.
Jeremy. Then he's coming out backing these men and saying, oh, these men shouldn't have to pay tax because they feed the country. That's what's the reason why he was saying that. These are farmers. These are the people that we should be looking after, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't pay anything anyway. Now you're paying
what's
half.
that got to do? What does his standpoint on this situation have to do with him personally? They're two separate entities. He is saying, I stand for this for these people because these people are going to be affected in these ways that I don't agree with. What does that have to do with my personal accounts?
What do you mean? Like, you're not paying tax, like the people in this country that should be paying tax. If I'm not gonna pay tax, why does you can have a certain amount of money now, make a trust and not pay tax, and then back other people not to pay tax too? It's either no one pays it or everybody pays it. I'm trying to say.
Do you think anyone should be paying it?
No, I don't necessarily people should be, but you can't be standing up for one set of group of people to not pay it at all, and then over there people still have to pay it and get on with it. I'm trying to say, shut up and keep your mouth quiet and let these people deal with their situation themselves, because you yourself don't pay tax anyway.
Do you think he's part of the tax evasion issue?
That's what I think. You're part of the tax evasion issue. So either like say no one should be paying tax is the reason why I'm doing tax evasion.
Question then. If you're making some money that that Jeremy's got, you paying tax?
No, I'm doing a trust, and I'm not talking. No, you can't. No, I'm about to back it. I'm not talking in the public to go back other people not to pay tax. I'm doing my thing.
Why
and keeping
are you
my
not backing other man them to stop not to get robbed? You're like, nah, I'm not backing man them to not get robbed.
You're not getting it.
Let them not get. Why am I not backing you not to get robbed?
The reason why he's doing
you're getting chiefed, and I can see you're getting chiefed. I can see that you're getting chiefed, and I want to stop people getting chiefed.
Because they feed the country, because they're farmers. Yeah. It's not the fact that because they're just everybody else shouldn't be paying tax. He's not backing the fact that no one should be paying tax. He's backing the fact that these men shouldn't be paying tax because he has some kind of affiliation with these farmers, and he's saying we're trying to gentrify the fucking countryside and trying to just fill it with immigrants. That's why he's backing it. It's not necessarily because tax is a bad thing. He's saying these type of people shouldn't be paying tax. Nobody should be paying tax. Don't come here with your bias and start saying these people. No, either push it on the level.
The theft is across the board.
Across the board. Don't bring it back because the farmers are close to you.
But us lot of being getting robbed and no one's been screaming nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
These are the ones who's creating an argument though. So then that's the time to back it, because that's where the noise and the attention is.
You're missing the point. You're backing it just because who they are. You're not backing it because tax is wrong.
Yeah, he's backed it, and then the reason for which he's given for why he's given that backing is hogwash when you consider the fact that the theft has been across the board. He's not coming that, oh nah, we as the people need to support these people.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You're not coming in the fact that taxes as a general is a bad thing. You're just saying these are farmers and you shouldn't be coming after these people after everybody. Like, no, I hear that.
Some of my friends are farmers.
What's the problem? That's what I think you lot are missing. I heard your point. I get your point. What is the problem with him standing for one group and not another group?
I don't think there's a problem with it, but I'm just saying that he's saying that the reason he gave was it's a bit biased. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. So?
And okay, so
I'm like, what's wrong with that?
When you come out and start talking about trust and this, that, the other, you are very well off, my friend, yeah? And you can easily tell these lot how to go and do this without coming out into the public and chatting rubbish. And just tell these people to go and do a trust because they're in the position to do these things. And
you met them all those people in person. How many people did you give a number to for someone? Yeah, this guy will help you sort out your trust.
You didn't do that.
You probably didn't do that.
But anyway, fucking, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a longer one that I expected it to be. I can't lie.
Sensational.
That conversation.
It was longer than I expected it to be.
What was the other topic? Anything else?
No, I got plenty of things I wanted to talk about. There's two things. There's one in particular, obviously, Lilly Phillips.
Who?
That girl that slept with, was it 100 she started off with, innit?
100 men in 24 hours.
Yeah, 100 men in 24 hours. And then she made a documentary on it and started saying that she was upset because she couldn't give certain men the ample time that they needed.
To finish, because a lot of some of the men wasn't, like, there's a lot of issues going on and this, that, the other. She was also upset because she found it traumatizing at first and this, that, the other. And then
you don't say.
Crying and this, that, the other. And then
I mean,
basically, do you know anything about the story?
The girl, I literally, once he said the headline, I remember seeing the headline on Twitter coming up again.
So long story short, this girl basically, she's an Onlyfans model, innit? Or Onlyfans porn star. I don't know why we're calling them models.
Please, just insulting to models. Sex workers.
Yeah.
The sex workers.
That's why I say porn star, because that's what a sex worker is, isn't it? It's a sex worker. So it's a digital sex worker though.
Yeah.
So you got these Onlyfans porn star. She's basically gone to the world, like she's basically put out there like, yeah, I'm gonna have sex with like 100 men in 24 hours. I think some sort of record or some sort of something, whatever. Or if it's not a record, whatever. She just wanted to have 100.
Yeah, that was not the record. The record is 918 man in 24 hours.
What?
She's trying to go for that.
And she's alive.
She's trying to go for that.
Is that woman alive?
Next year she says she's doing 1,000.
She wants to
innit?
go for 1,000.
And next year she's doing 1,000. So this girl's basically said she's building herself up for. Aye, she's got a level of commitment and focus, yeah.
It's crazy.
That
For
if
the
she
wrong
applied
thing, yeah.
in the right areas, she'd actually be a very, very.
She's on a very, very long river and it goes through many countries in Africa.
Denial.
Yeah. That's jokes too. So yeah, this gal, she's gone, yeah, cool, 100 million in 24 hours. And they basically had a lineup and all the rest of it, and they're running through it, 100 man in 24 hours. But each man, certain man have to take longer than they're not getting to finish, that the other. So like certain man have to take longer.
When I just think, that's just mad, you know. I just had a mad picture in my head of a woman just lying on the bed and the row of man.
That's what came to my mind. That's what literally had
lines of man just
That's
waiting.
what had
And you got a
my
little
head.
clock, you got a timer. Ticking down, you got 3 minutes, bro.
Do you get it? That's what I see in my head. That's what I see in my head.
bro.
He's got the guy there like.
And the man's
"We'll
not
be going
finishing,
over
so
the time."
they're continuing in
Imagine.
it. They're continuing because they're like, I ain't finished. So they're continuing. It's throwing up their clocks
like,
and
no,
all the rest of it, and blah blah. And then certain people are trying to say like, it was sexual assault and boom boom.
On them.
No,
From her,
she's being sexually assaulted.
but she's already agreed to it. So how is it sexually assault?
Like this is the most consensual thing that
Yeah.
circumstances.
She literally invited them.
Yeah,
100 of them.
We're not doing that.
100 of them.
We're not doing it.
They signed up. Papers signed.
Her father is
Turning.
God, the poor guy, man.
It's not, no, but
I hope
bro, it's not, bro. Her, you know who her manager is?
No.
Her mother.
I hope she don't have pick me.
Her mother's her manager, so there's no thing. I don't know about if the father's still around, but the mum's fine with it. So what are we doing, man?
Well, that's why the father's not around.
The
Isn't it?
generation's tapped.
I hope she don't have pick me.
Generation's finished.
I don't think she could, bro. She's gonna be ruined.
You gotta understand, like when we were growing up, we didn't think that we would grow up with that the girls we were growing up with would aspire to be corn stars, bro. Do you understand?
He got it. He got it. Man.
The fact that they're even aspiring to be
These things.
and to literally sell themselves online, and some people actually try and justify it. Oh no, it's alright because I only do scenes with
Bro,
my
what was it?
boyfriend.
A couple of weeks ago, the girl was it? I think it was. I can't remember her name is, but I saw Stephen A. Smith chatting about her, saying that she makes 43 million. Sophie Rain,
Yeah,
that's what it is. Made 43 million pounds on OnlyFans.
A month.
No, in the year. That's more money than the highest paid person on in the NBA. Bring it back down a bit. She pushed it up again.
That is crazy work. The whole time.
No?
You can talk, El.
Oh.
You can talk. This is not big professional productions out here.
Yeah, you can.
They'll just come and help.
come fix it. Yeah, there you
there
go.
we go.
And then maybe lift up just the mics section itself. Yeah, just lift that, just that one section.
There you go.
That one section.
I don't know what to speak. Just speak.
Yo.
Yeah, that's calm. It's
Yeah,
picking
it's
up
calm.
perfect.
Yeah, that's calm. Thank you.
But this has been going for a minute, so we'll sort that for next time. But I can't remember. So yeah, 43 million, more money than the top NBA players she makes for the year salary.
I thought you saying that was for what she's making in a month. So what's that equal a month? 43 divided by 12.
12. But yeah, she makes more money than Jason Tatum, and I think he's the highest paid player in the NBA.
She's almost making 11 mil a month.
Yeah. And then she claimed she was a virgin. She doesn't really do like she doesn't post much. She's all privates and tips and all these crazy. But that's by the by. It starts to make me how sick human being men are. We're tapped to just be dishing out that amount of money just for lust and just through your eyes.
But you got to understand. You got to understand that
you're not even getting it in physical contact.
It's because she's maximized the volume on a mad scale, whereby it's not just she's not got like say 100 men and they're just lumping. It's probably like she's got these thousands of men and they've all
Hundreds of
subscribed
thousands.
enough, and they're paying for the content as well.
Sorry,
on top
man,
of that,
I watched a video. I watched it. There's man out here that are like their main sugar daddies that are just dishing out big amounts of money from themselves. Like, you know what I mean? She has a select says 15 to 20. She has her subscribers, thousands of them. She has a select 15 to 20 man that just pump out big amounts of money to you as well. Hundreds of thousands for a certain amount of pictures that you're going to send privately to him and him and him. But that's how tapped we are to still want to do that. That's mash up.
Tapped, you lot are. I ain't.
Human beings on a level I've just said humanity, because there's so much of a big umbrella. I don't want to start bringing in all these different ethnicities. Humanity is tapped.
Nah. You didn't even mean to do it. You didn't even cook it. You didn't cook it. You didn't even cook it. I said different ethnicities. I'm not even getting into it, man. Without even meaning to.
Right, me man different, bro. Humans.
No.
Oh, it was so perfect. It was so perfect. I just looked at Jamal.
Genres. Huh? Yeah, well, that's a genres. It's not even genres. Nah. What are they? What them people them call themselves? Different sexes. They're not even sexes. Different
Genders.
genders. There we go.
What do you mean?
That's what you was meant to say. Different genders, but you said ethnicities.
I didn't even mean anything. I just meant humans on a level, as in across the whole planet, are mash up. And I've been saying this for a minute. Humans annoy me. I know I'm human myself, but true. We are mash up. We would be the reason for this world to be finished. Bro.
Those above us, 100%.
Bro,
because we're in there.
One thing from school really sticks with me when they tell us that humans are just the paint on the ceiling. If the earth was this whole room, the humans just be the paint on the ceiling. That's how insignificant we have been here on this earth at this moment in time. And I truly believe it. In that way, I truly believe it.
I don't know if you could blame it on humans or if it's like a certain subspecies.
Subspecies? Yeah. Nah, we're not doing that this week.
Thank you guys. Next week
we're not doing that.
We'll be talking about.
Anyway,
I'm not even going to get into that, but yeah.
So
we'll
yeah,
just leave
Lilly
that there.
Phillips,
Conspiracy theorist, innit? Conspiracy
she wants to do
theorist.
1,000 men. That's the next one. She wants to do 1,000.
Yeah, crazy work.
But yeah, and then the last thing I really wanted to chat about with you, man. Yesterday, as I said, we were in Costco's. We went to do a lot of shopping for Christmas, but the thing that stood out with me, there was this one bad breed child up in there.
Okay.
So we saw him earlier on in like the aisles, and he was doing his thing, boy. He was kicking off. He was doing his tantrum, saying, "I want this, I want that, I want the others." And the parents, they just couldn't. They didn't know what to do with him. I don't know what's going on in their household, how they've been bringing him up, but he wore the pants in the house. But he wasn't one of those manipulative children. He was just straight throwing the toys out of the pram. If I'm not getting what I want, everybody's hearing about it. And he looked about 11, 12 years old. Okay. That's what was the icing on the cake. You're 11, 12 years old. You should be kind of out of this stage by now. So we get down to the food area in Costco's, so you can have your pizzas, hot dogs, and da-da-da-da. He's got a big family. There's like 4 other kids, and he's ordering for them. The dad is. They got nan there, they got mum there. What do you want? They get what they want. All the other children are just complying. It comes to him. He goes, "Don't worry about me. Order me last." I'm listening to the conversation. I'm sitting there with mum and Ella. I'm sitting there. And he's like, "All right, cool. I'll come to you last." So he orders for nan. He orders for mum. He goes, "What do you want?" "I want 2 things. I want a hot dog and a pizza." And he goes, Why do you want to be that person and get 2 things? Everyone else got 1. You're going to get 1. Everything hit the fan. Shit hit the fan. "You treat me differently. I hate you. I'm gonna run away." I'm like, this kid stomped. He's got water bottle in his hand and something else under his arm, and just storms off towards the exit. Leaves the rest of the family there. Dad's like, "Okay, if he wants to be like that, he gets nothing." I'm like, "You don't mean that. I can see it in your face. You don't mean that." The mom's already
exactly what he asked for.
The mom's already all getting agitated and can't see where the child's gone. She's trying to see him as he's walking away. Goes to follow the child. As we're leaving, they're leaving at the same time. He's walking back in as his family are leaving. I'm like, bro. My mom stares at this youth, puts him in his place there and then. The one black woman mother look put him in his place. He was like, and he went straight back to his family after that. I was like, I wonder if they actually got him anything. We were taking lots between me, Ella, and Sherelle, saying if they actually got something. And Sherelle's like, "Oh, they got him something." I'm like, "Nah, they can't have. They need to put their foot down, stand on business." We look at them. They get to the petrol station where we are. He's eating his hot dog in the car. He got something. So,
did you get a pizza? Did you see if you got a pizza as well?
I don't know about that. That would have been really the worst.
That's when I'll just say, you know what?
But I want to know, yeah. Obviously, we're not going to say we hit kids anymore. What do you do in that situation when a child is having a tantrum there and then?
My youth at them big ages ain't doing tantrums.
Come on,
we're done.
Stop doing that.
We're done past.
Play the part.
We're done.
Play the part.
No. Because I'm not play. Do you know why I'm not part of that? Because I'm not part of bad parenting.
So that's what you're calling it, bad parenting from the back.
That's bad parenting.
Because I said, is it badly behaved kids or poor parenting?
It's poor parenting.
Poor parenting.
Absolutely piss poor parenting.
I can't get mad at the product for the ingredients I put into it.
Do you get it?
That just does not make sense.
It doesn't at all make any sense.
Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
Let me sit back.
I've gone and poured nothing of no sound right reasoning, no consideration for others, no sympathy, no empathy, nothing into you, and then you're now an emotional wreck who can't articulate, and it's your fault.
Don't forget morals.
No morals and
politeness, respect.
Do you see what I mean? Like
gratitude, appreciation hasn't been taught into the child, and now I'm mad. I'm now the problem is the child and not me. No, I'm the problem. And I refuse to then be that problem. So it's poor parenting, because if that child believes it can behave like that.
Yeah. Of course.
It has been shown and taught
that works.
That it works, and not only does it work, it is allowed.
Yeah, and he gets an end product.
The success. He's gotten success with that method before, so he's gonna keep
many a times. So he's gonna keep rinsing and repeating until he can't rinse and repeat, and it will change as he gets older. As he matures, it will just kind of change a little bit.
Yeah, that's what my family's for. Small children, small problem.
Yeah.
Big children,
bigger problems. It will change later on, and it will just look different. And you'll be like, "Bro, how did you end up being one of these kids?" And you're like, as a teenager, or how did you be one of these adults? And you're like, "Well, you've allowed them to be from when they was a child, and all it is the same behaviors they was as children, but it now looks different because they're an adult."
Mm-hmm. That's why I say that when you're a parent, your no is way more powerful than your yes, because your no is you're laying down boundaries for this child, and with regards to how they should behave in the house, outside of the house, understanding how they're being perceived and all these things, respecting others, respecting you in public as well. Because I think everyone who, if you've got old school parents, you remember that if you even the first time you attempted to kick up a fuss, they probably remember the look you got, or if you got the clap on the back of the head. But most people, some parents could just do it with a look, and you knew to get up off your knees and put that thing back on the shelf and go.
It was a level of shame bringing back on the family as well.
Yeah.
If I was caught out in public doing that kind of stuff, because Lord knows, words getting back to my nan, words getting back to my mum. Immediately.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. For me, it wasn't even. I can't remember a time where my knees hit the floor in a public place because I didn't get something I wanted and was asking for.
He didn't do all that stuff. My man did the big child one. Stamping feet and moving furniture.
Yeah. That's not running.
I'm moving trolley.
Like the most I did, I'll be honest, was just try and insist the second time. Oh, why can't I have it?
That's a different thing altogether. Do you get it?
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
I expect that from a child to be like, kind of, how far can I push this? If I ask again, will you like? Because sometimes, like, I had that with my parents. I'll grab some biscuits. Can we get these biscuits? No, put it back.
Done.
Man, can we? And then like later on, you find the biscuits in the trolley.
Yeah. Like if you're a good child, isn't it?
Like, later on, no, I snuck them in. I stuck him in. What is it? I tell you, going back, and I'm there like with a cheeky little grin, like.
So what did you get by the end of that? Did you get a clap, or did you get the biscuits bought?
Sometimes it will be a thing of like, do you know what? You can't have the biscuits. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to clip my toes, you know. That's what I'm doing that for.
Sorry. This thing gonna fall down. I'm just like,
yeah. Thanks, because I don't want that to fall down. So. Sometimes it'd be do you know what? It actually, the no was just like, sometimes we say no just out of default. So it's just an immediate no. And my mum, like, my parents were kind of clock. I just said no for the sake of saying no. Like, yeah, go on there, get on. Other times it'd be like, didn't I tell you no? Go put it back, because there's actually a reason why there was a no. So for whether I'm aware of that reason or not.
Afford it. You don't need to know that.
It could have been, do you get it? I don't know. Sometimes a no is just, they've got something planned over the weekend for me. So therefore I'm getting a no now for any sugary treats, because on Sunday or Saturday or whenever it is, Friday, there's something going on that's going to equal in me having. But I don't know these things because I'm not the adult, so I don't
and you
plan
don't
my life and schedule my life. I don't have that, so I just
you
get
don't warrant an answer.
You get it? That's what I'm saying. It's just a no.
Child ain't been taught that I don't need to answer your question
at all. So I don't think that's a bad thing that the person asks a second time or whatever, or kind of try to push the boundary, because children are going to push the boundary. That's where parenting comes into place, because children are not pushing your boundaries. You're no longer parenting that child. That child has become fearful of you and is fearful of your responses, and that because of that, they're not trying to push any boundaries. But a child, to understand the way of the world, has to push boundaries. Like, for a child to even know how to walk, it had to push the boundaries of, okay, how, like, build itself up to walk. Then once it's talking, it has to then learn how to express itself. The first, one of the first things that a lot of children say, or one that will very quickly start learning to say is no, because they hear no so often. So it then they learn how to push the boundaries through their parents, communicating through with their parents. So then that's your opportunity now to parent, where that child is expressing themselves, asking for things, pushing the boundaries. But then there's a certain place where that child should just know, I cannot push the boundary any further than this point. Because these consequences come into place.
Yeah.
And without those consequences, the child doesn't know where the line is, and where it don't know where the line is, it don't know how far it can push. So then you see children like that, where they're in public places and they're just thinking they can just act up however they want to act up.
Every place is a place he can act how he wants.
Because they
trial and error, man.
Yeah.
Because did you get it?
But we're gonna trial and error this one.
Trial and error.
But this one worked here.
But it didn't work here.
But I'm gonna try it here though. This one I'm gonna try it. It's gonna work this time. I don't give a toss.
Did you get it? But like,
imagine that.
That kind of behavior wouldn't have ran in our households.
It wouldn't. Not bro.
So it don't matter where we go. We know it ain't working. We ain't trying to run it.
We were all chatting. It's like all three of us were just trying to figure out like what would have happened to you if you did that. What would have happened to you if you did that? Mum goes from her time. She goes, me, bro. It'd been mash up. It'd been black and blue. Craziness would have been happening. I said, and Nan's sitting there like butter wouldn't melt because she's the one that they've been doing it. And I'm like, then Nan, she goes, no. I'm like, okay, whatever, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I'm saying. Nan would say that. She wasn't there at the time, but she would say these things because she always says, I never did that. I bet you never did that. Yeah. My mum never hit me. So if I did any of that stupidness, I would have got home and my room would have been empty. It'd been techie, and that hurts me more than beating me because I'm just like, right, where are you taking my stuff away from? And then Sherelle would have been the same thing as my mum. She would have been beaten to high.
It was either
that's how her side of the family.
Even that or the cable.
Yeah, me. You remove the cable out of the back of the PlayStation.
You can hear it, you can't see it.
You can't use nothing.
I would have got a look. I
Yeah,
would have got a look on the way up. On the way up of it. But let's say I get to that point of why I had the audacity to walk off. The audacity. And then come back. You should have stayed where you was. I should have stayed where I was, which probably would have been by the car.
Yeah.
That's probably where the youth went.
No, he didn't. He went to the exit. Door exit just to go stamp around to get more attention
to see if they would follow him.
Yeah.
And no one followed him.
He was the king of this business. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to walk up to the front because they'll go on the intercom and say, we've got a lost child. The child about to walk out into the car park, that kind of business. I probably didn't get that response to turn back around and walk back towards the family. And that's when my mum clocked eyes with him and he just like, the fear of God was put into him.
He should have stayed there because more time, I would have got nothing. Nothing would have been bought for me. My parents would have come in and goes, watch when you get home.
I just thought this youth here is just he's got away with this far too often, so he's got used to it, and I'm just like, that's a big youth, man. You're 12. You look about 12, 13. I'm sorry, bro. Like you cannot be doing that anymore.
Teenage.
Because you are an absolute mess for society. That's all I just see. You're a mess. You're creating an absolute headache for society. What is he like at school if he's like that with you? If he could think he can do that to you and you're meant to be the highest of authority in his life, teachers have no chance.
Absolutely.
No chance.
But he's going to be he's definitely going to be a mess of society.
It's a menace, man. That's a menace.
Yeah, you remember my man we went to school with? I
don't know though. I think he might be a law-abiding citizen, but then one of them like, what's that group that you're talking about? That group of just where they're trying to make the UK, make England.
Reform.
Yeah, them things there, reform. He might end up being one of them reform people. Yeah, he's just entitled. I'm entitled to what I believe in, and because I believe in it, so you lot should.
One last thing before we finish up on that, as you're saying there, I was listening to LBC. There was a white guy on talking on LBC, and he was literally upset for the fact that the percentages for this country have been dropping by since 1996. I think the percentage of white people to ethnicity was something like 86% was white people in this country. Now it's down to like 72. Man was ringing it like it was a big thing, like he's upset.
I hear it.
Like all these men about to be wiped out off the face of the earth and that. So
I hear it.
That's why reform is gaining so much like traction, I think, because people genuinely believe like they're getting replaced.
Yeah, it makes sense because you kind of are.
Yeah, but what? It's inevitable.
Nah, but you are because like
it's inevitable.
I'll paint why they are though. You're not having as many children as ethnic households, as ethnic group households.
Negative birth rate.
They have a negative birth rate overall. So before they used to have like on average 1 to 3. You look at African households, Caribbean households, you look at the Asian community households, these lot breed up the place. It's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pickney.
But we use children as we used to use them as an insurance. So it's inherent in us to still have children as an insurance for to carry on our family name.
Yeah.
And like if we didn't have them, the family wasn't going to be able to work the land and
whatever it is.
But we kind of still see that in that way because we like having bigger families.
Yeah. But regardless of how you paint it,
English people don't see children.
They're not having as many youths.
But they think smart too, I've noticed. Like the best people that I have advice for not to have children probably comes from English people when they say, if you can't afford it, don't be having it. And if they're thinking like that, it kind of holds themselves back, unfortunately. Innit?
So I think the lifestyle here, coupled with basically literally what you're saying, the way the culture is based largely upon the boundaries you have for living, and I think them thinking smart is unfortunately been a double-edged sword because it's resulted in them having fewer children.
That too.
Yeah. So we're seeing a decline. So naturally, you was going to see a decline anyway because you're seeing because you guys don't have as many children, and then you're having ethnic. You've invited the world into your country when you went and conquered the world, and then went and said England is an amazing place. So then now everyone's like, okay.
You even called it the Commonwealth, so you let them know all the wealth is common here.
Yeah. So you're going, all right, cool. So the streets are painted with gold. So let me go to where the streets are painted with gold.
That's stupid bullshit.
Yeah, of course it's BS, nonsense. But nonetheless, that's the reality of that's the story that they told the world. So that's the world now wanting to come and see that. Do you get it? So now everyone's come over here. And then on top of that, the people of England, like on average, how many of those, I don't know the numbers. This is me. This is a genuine question. How many of the people of England, English descent, are obtaining the necessary skills to be doctors? Do you get it? How many of them are actually taking up the skills? So the jobs that we're having to outsource for, because there are whole groups of employment that we're outsourcing to other countries, and then inviting other people from other countries to fill those gaps, because there's gaps in our education system, there's gaps in our economy where we then having to outsource it to others. If you guys then got the necessary information, got the necessary education, there wouldn't be those gaps. But you haven't, and then there's those gaps. So then they're filling those gaps with who are educated.
They don't want to have those jobs, do you?
So, but then you can't then expect the birth rate to be the same. I mean, like the amount of people in the country to stay the same or go higher. It just can't happen.
You're right.
You can't have both. You can't not go get the education and then also then complain that those other people are filling those spots or taking up those opportunities. But you haven't got the education.
They're taking our job.
And to side note the part about you know about the people coming into work. Some of the nurses that came here to work, say the Zimbabwean nurses, some of them went back. They said, "Nah, it's not worth it." But you get like just the living here, coupled with
everything else that comes with it. It's
not worth the hassle.
Not worth the hassle. People going back.
So and even within that, with the people still going back, that you're still noticing. They're still noticing. From 82% or 88%, whatever it is, to now 70, whatever it is.
It's 72, I think.
72, so it's going down. Yeah. Well, of course, you've got too many factors that are going to cause it to go down, which is caused by yourselves.
And you're mixing your blood.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If you keep mixing your blood, it's gonna not disappear, but you'll just be. What?
Eventually, everyone will either be, some variation of different mixed ethnicities, and the white man won't be around. That's what they're worried about. But that's going to happen so long as you continue promoting the cycle we're in, where you've got an influx of migrants and you've got a promotion of mixed relationships, and at the same time you've got the declining birth rate. You're literally making it so hard to live that a child is viewed more as an expense rather than this joyful thing that it's supposed to be. Yeah, we're all different shades of wheat anyway. Yeah, all different shades of wheat. Race is an illusion. All right, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, subscribe, comment, 5-star review. You're done now. Please. You ain't gotta go home. You just gotta get the hell out of here.